Every age has its war, and every war is remembered by the villains who fought it. For decades, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe stood as one of fantasy's most iconic stories, a myth of courage, betrayal, and destiny. But now, in 2026, this timeless battle between light and shadow returns to the big screen, in a live-action epic directed by Travis Knight. The role of Prince Adam, the man who becomes He-Man, has been officially confirmed. Nicholas Galitzine, the rising star known for red, white, and royal blue and the idea of you, now wields the power sword. But every light needs its darkness, and this time, the darkness fights back. These are the 7 villains, confirmed and rumored, who will define the war for Eternia. Skeletor. Jared Leto officially takes on the role of Skeletor, the fallen prince of Eternia, a man consumed by ambition, burned alive by his own sorcery, and reborn as the Lord of Destruction. Leto's version won't be the campy villain of the 80s. Early production reports suggest a darker, more tragic Skeletor, a brilliant man whose obsession with forbidden power stripped him of humanity and left only hunger behind. He sees He-Man not as an enemy, but as a betrayal, the golden child who inherited the destiny that should have been his. Expect a performance layered in sorrow and rage. Skeletor isn't just fighting for domination, he's fighting for recognition, and that's what makes him terrifying. He believes he's the true savior of Eternia, the only one willing to destroy it to remake it. The final battle between He-Man and Skeletor won't be a fight between good and evil. It'll be a fight between beliefs. Evil-Lyn. Alison Brie is confirmed to play Evil-Lyn. Evil-Lyn is often misunderstood as simply Skeletor's magical hand. Here she is elevated, not a lieutenant, but a sovereign of sorcery with her own ambitions. Her backstory, adapted for this film, suggests she was once affiliated with the Sorceress of Grayskull, perhaps as a pupil or rival, and turned when she saw the weakness in the Protector myth. Her deal with darkness is less about loyalty, more about outlook. In the movie, her scenes will likely play out in corridors of whispered deals. She isn't just casting spells, she's rewriting hierarchies. She doesn't see He-Man as obstacle, but as protege of a broken system. The dynamic between Evil-Lyn and Skeletor may be as charged as villain versus villain. She could challenge him, manipulate him, or even supplant him. Her conflict with He-Man may therefore be psychological, his ideals versus her pragmatism. Expect magical set pieces where her staff splits realities, where her voice becomes weapon. In short, she is the villain the hero didn't see coming. Trap Jaw. Sam C. Wilson is cast as Trap Jaw. Trap Jaw embodies the horror of transformation. In myth, he was once human. In this film, he is remade by Skeletor's dark science. His jaw replaced with steel, his arm with interchangeable weapons, cannon, saw, grappling claw. Every fight with him is a demonstration in biomechanical terror. This film will likely emphasize his origin as war-wounded veteran, rebuilt for conflict, and that mediated violence becomes his identity. Visually, the design is key. The prosthetic jaw might be exposed, the tubing visible, the whir of mechanism audible in quiet scenes. His entry into battle will come with hydraulics, servo winds, pistons. Narratively, Trapjaw is the challenge of brute force and engineered horror. When He-Man faces him, the question will be, can raw strength overcome a machine built to kill? Or does the hero need to adapt beyond muscle? In a sequence of tight combat, expect the mirror. Trapjaw targets the sword arm, disables movement, forcing He-Man to fight without advantage. It's not just a battle, it's a system test. Tri-Klops. Kojo Ata is confirmed as Tri-Klops. Tri-Klops is the villain who doesn't smash. He studies. He predicts. His 3-lens visor gives him tactical superiority, infrared, magical detection, and illusion-piercing optics. In the film, he may operate behind the scenes, orchestrating ambushes, gathering intelligence, turning terrain into trap. His presence suggests the war for Eternia won't be solely fought on the battlefield, but in information, vision, and fear. He represents the modernization of threat. Magic and muscle are one form of danger. Vision is another. He might stalk He-Man, forcing the hero to fight not only with power, but with awareness. Cinematic moments might include the visor scanning He-Man's weakness in slow motion, 2 blades sliding into frame, red glint in the lens, a voice whispering, "I see you." Tri-Klops reminds us, even the strongest body is vulnerable if the opponent knows the swing before you make it. Beastman. While Beastman has not been officially announced by the studio in press releases, multiple reputable leaks and mocap sightings suggest his inclusion. Beastman is the primal side of Skeletor's army. Orange-furred, ferocious, built for chaos. But this film might deepen him. Not just savage, but tragic. His origin. Once a noble warrior of the wild tribes, broken by conflict and enslaved by sorcery. He fights for the man who erased him. In the film, Beastman's scenes will be visceral. Jungle raids, claws ripping stone, loyalty tested as he glimpses He-Man's mercy. His conflict with He-Man is less about swords and more about identities. The hero who defends humanity and the creature who lost his. When they clash, it's muscle versus mercy, monster versus memory. Expect the beat where Beastman hesitates mid-roar, recognition flickering in the fur. That moment could define his role and force He-Man to decide whether to kill or save. King Hiss. King Hiss remains unconfirmed in casting, but design cues and story leaks suggest his looming presence. Set photos show serpent runes and massive temple architecture reminiscent of the Snake Men. King Hiss is not just another villain, he is a primordial terror, one who ruled Eternia before kings, before heroes, before time itself. His body hides dozens of serpents, his voice a hiss of conquest and eternity. If he appears, it may be through flashback or awakening, a villain who offers scale beyond the current war. In narrative terms, King Hiss will test He-Man's legacy. If He-Man defends a throne, Hiss will ask why humans should rule at all. He is the oldest question of power, nature versus civilization. Visually, his reveal should be dramatic, serpent heads emerging, palace bones cracking, the ground trembling. He may not dominate this film's climax, but his presence will haunt it. Goatman. Julius Bjornsson is confirmed as Goatman. Goatman is the brute with horns and sorrow. In this adaptation, once protector of a mountain tribe, he made a desperate pact to save his people and became a monster for the price of their survival. His warhammer carries trauma. His roar is regret. On screen, he will be a physical landmark. Colossal, brutal, unrelenting. But the tragedy, deep in his gray eyes, a flicker of the man he used to be. He fights for someone else's purpose. He fights because forgetting isn't an option. His confrontation with He-Man. The hero will ask whether fighting is enough or whether redemption is required. Their battle won't just shake stone, it will crack a soul. Visually, expect extreme scale. Goatman stepping into battle in slow motion, his horns lighting against sky, his hammer striking a cliff and dust pouring off like rain. That moment says, this war is not just magical, it is elemental. These 7 villains are more than antagonists, they are reflections. He-Man stands against them not only to defend Eternia, but to define what kind of hero he will be. And when the film hits theaters on June 5th, 2026, you will see the clash of myth and machine, of gods and monsters, of choices that echo beyond the sword.